Hey guys, today's video is about how to comb a chinchilla. Do you need to groom your chins from time to time? The answer is absolutely yes. Many chins parents has no concept of grooming a chinchillas and often think that it is only necessary when going to a show. Especially some pet owner in Asian country that has no chinchilla show would think that chinchillas do not need to groom at all because they can clean themselves in the same bath. Even some of the breeders will think that it's not necessary to comb some of their breeding chins for a year. And I think that's a bit of misconceptions because regularly grooming our chins will help to remove their dead fur, and most importantly, it can help the sand to penetrate deeper to clean their skin. Some people would say, well, I never done this for my chins and they were fine. But remember we talked about why we should give our chins for 24/7 bath? In case you've forgotten, you can always go back and watching episode 2. So it's a sort of the same principle. Technically, they're not going to die or having another health problem without a grooming routine. But the thing is, they are very clean and neat animal themselves. So apart from helping them to get rid of the dead fur, it can prevent some skin problems, such as like fungal infections, because fungal infections normally occur in dense furs where there is also moisture. So grooming routine can help the animal get a more airy coat and where the scent can penetrate to the skin. So it's good to keep your pets healthy and happy. First, we need to prepare some tools. 1. Chinchilla combs. Sand or dust depending what you use for the bath. 3. A lint roller. And here's I want to show you that there are many different chinchilla combs on the market. I have 2 that are not so good. This one, for example, the needle just too thick. It can't get into the very deep layers. So I use it as a practice comb because it's blunt at the end so it doesn't hurt. And then there's another one. And then this one, it's just not so good quality. After a while, it can get rusty. So I highly recommend that you buy a good chinchilla comb. Second is the position. The easier way for a beginner is to standing on one leg and put your chins on your lap. If you found it hard to keep the chins on the table, and one of your hands must hold the towel, not too tightly, but more like a light grip, like handshake. You holding it, but not squeezing it, just in case they run away. And don't worry about hurting your chinchillas by holding its tail. The base of the tail is the strongest bone in the body. Then you divide it about 4 sections, starting with the middle, section A, tail to neck. You put the comb almost flat and slowly move up. And if you feel that you have a knot, don't pull it. Pull the comb back and slowly move again bit by bit. Section B and C are on both sides, from the bottom to top. The last part D is the face and under the jaw part. This is the most difficult part because it's close to the eyes and nose area, and you're touching the whiskers, which just make them very sensitive. So I would recommend starting with some small, non-sharp comb to practice with. Like a cat's flea combs, for example, it's good for practice because then you won't poke their eyes, ears, or nose to get hurt. Once they get used to this movement and you feel confident not to poke them, then you can switch into a real chinchilla comb on the face area. Once you have a finished combing, you can use a lint roller to get rid of any floating fur, and then leave the chins to roll in the sand bath. But if you want to touch your chins after you freshly groom, then please make sure wash your hands in the sand first or else you will be adding back skin oil, sweat to your freshly groomed chinchillas. Once you understand the way how to comb them, the timing is also key for beginners. If they have never been combed before or are very struggling, you might want to start with 2 minutes at a time and 2 or 3 times a week. And don't forget to give them a treat after you have done it before you put them back into the cage. This is associated to them as a good activity. Usually after a couple of weeks routine, you can increase the time from 2 minutes to 3 minutes and so on. Eventually, you can do it up to 30 minutes. But if you have a chinchilla that has some really dense fur like bandix here, I will usually speed up to 2 days to do it because if you take it too long, it might be too hot for them. Plus we often have sweat on our hands, so it makes it very uncomfortable. So prepare the sand on the table and touch the sand if your hands getting sweat. Otherwise they can lose tail's fur if you are too sweat on your hands. One thing worth mentioning is that every chinchilla is different when it comes to grooming. Some are more calm and don't take long to get used to it, and you can put them anywhere you want. But some are more energetic like Emily's here. No matter how many times you do it, they might still not cooperate it, and this is quite normal. You might want to split a few days to calm them. And a chinchilla's fur changing in cycles. They go through several fur changing throughout their lives. First, a cycle starts right at 6 months, then at 10 months, 14 months, 18 months, and then they grow into a 8-month cycles the rest of their adult life. It would be nice to groom the chinchillas a little extra during those cycles to help them with that fur. I myself usually groom my chinchilla once a month just to keep a healthy routine. But you can adjust the routine according to your free times and their fur changing cycles. Remember, patience is a key. Give your chinchilla time to get used to grooming. It is a fun and a group bonding activity. Give your baby a clean and healthy life. So that's all for today, and I hope you have fun to grooming your chin. Bye!